Danish cinema is perhaps not most well known for its horror outings, although certainly Lars von Trier and Nicholas Winding Refn have dabbled with scary, atmospheric movies. Winding Refn's Only God Forgives veers into terrifying territory in parts, and von Trier's The House That Jack Built and Antichrist pile on the dread. Both of those directors have a distinct, unique voice, but what they do have in common is a penchant for the slow burn. The build-up of fear and anxiety, superbly shot, slick movies with brutal, unflinching violence and a certain perversity. Stark nudity and sickening violence can be found in both of their work, and director Christian Tafdrup does not shy away from such in his new film, Speak No Evil. Released onto Shudder this month, Speak No Evil begins with a family on vacation in picturesque Italy. Bjorn and his wife Louise sip wine and wander the quaint streets in the beautiful sunshine, sit by the pool, and dine on delicious food with their daughter Agnes. At night they watch people sing in the cool night air, the music bringing tears to Bjorn's eyes as he tips his glass to another man and his wife. That man, Patrick, requested that he sit by them at the pool, a little to Bjorn's disdain, but after a rousing speech at dinner Bjorn seemingly warms to him. Why Bjorn was compelled to cry is unclear. Could it be just at the beauty of the singing? Is there something deeper going on with him? They are from Denmark. Patrick, his wife, and their mysterious mute son are from Holland. After Agnes loses a toy bunny rabbit she is unfortunately very attached to during a walk in town, Bjorn traces their steps back to find it. While we sense the love he has for his daughter, she seems a burden to him. Upon locating the rabbit and returning, Patrick and his wife Karin have already introduced themselves to Louise and Agnes on the cobbled steps of a beautiful street straight out of a postcard. Patrick congratulates Bjorn on his endeavour to relocate the lost toy, perhaps a little too strongly, but Bjorn is pulled in and clearly likes him. His face a giant, beaming smile at having made new friends. At lunch they connect by suggesting that the Danish and Dutch culture are one and the same, and attempt to forge an alliance in this foreign country they find themselves. They speak English, but perhaps the finer details they wish to convey are lost in translation. Misunderstandings are one such pitfall when you cannot communicate in your mother tongue. Louise announces she is a vegetarian, although she does eat fish, much to Patrick's admiration. That's great for the environment, he claims. Patrick, it seems, enjoys flattery. That near but not quite vegetarian lifestyle choice we sense may come back to haunt Louise. Patrick invites Bjorn and his family to stay with them in Holland. Remarkably, Bjorn and Louise agree. While at first enjoying the beautiful Dutch countryside, food and a lot of wine, Bjorn and Louise begin to sense something is not quite right with Patrick and his pretty wife. The tension builds as harsh put-downs and frustrations increase. These perhaps come to a breaking point when Patrick and Karin take the couple out to dinner at a local pub. Bjorn asks Patrick to translate the menu, but he insists only that every dish is delicious. He holds the couple at arm's length at every turn, never revealing anything until it's on his own terms. Louise's insistence on being vegetarian generates a harsh put-down from Patrick, but her and Bjorn laugh it off. After some raunchy dancing and a loud, drunken drive back to the family home in the woods, Louise insists they leave and escape back to Denmark. However, Agnes's bunny has other ideas. After being persuaded to stay, Louise and Karin enjoy some gardening while Patrick takes Bjorn out for a beer-fueled drive. Patrick asks Bjorn what kind of music he likes. Bjorn is barely able to answer. In a desolate part of the countryside next to a small lake by a bizarre, towering wooden chest, they scream into the wind. Back at home they drink beer in Patrick's heated inside pool. When Agnes and Patrick's strange son Abel perform an unsuccessful synchronized dance routine to some Dutch Euro pop, everything breaks down. The boiling water spills over the pot. Secrets are revealed. Viewers with a tendency to scream at the screen and vent frustrations at the poor choices often made by the victims of horror movies might find themselves tearing out their hair at Bjorn in particular. While it's very easy to assert what we would have done differently in the situations Speak No Evil presents, very, very few of us will ever find ourselves in such predicaments. I found Bjorn a likeable but pathetic character, and Louise mostly a product of the modern era, bound up in things to make her feel better, while doing little to better the world. That said, when Bjorn is called upon to be the strong male figure, he falters and falls back on her. She shows strength where he is lacking, but the ease with which she gives in to Patrick in the final act suggests she never believed Bjorn could protect her or Agnes. He clearly desired something more from life than a family. Perhaps he should have focused on them rather than his own vanity. The brutality of the ending did stay with me, but most may see what is coming a while before it arrives. I had Speak No Evil figured out at the halfway point. However, the effectiveness and the stark misery of the ending still left a mark. The movie is nicely shot with a soft palette of colours, perhaps more suggestive of a serious human drama than a horror movie. Fedja Van Hoyt as Patrick is at times terrifying and very believable as the type of person to manipulate others and draw them in. He's the standout actor amongst the cast, but this is a well acted and compelling watch. Once we learn why the movie is titled Speak No Evil, we wish that Bjorn had spoken a little more about the dangers he was sensing before it became too late. Like that scene with the wife and the tear in his eye in Italy, he chokes. That would, however, have spurned us of an unflinching and nasty ending that many directors lack the courage to see through. Congratulations to Christian Tafdrup for a finale that has impact and will leave all of us much more wary of who we decide to trust.